Man versus gun.
Hello shooters, thanks for watching. Today's installment of Man vs. Gun is the Ruger LCR. This one is 357 Magnum, or you can also shoot 38 special since it is chambered for 357 Magnum. So let's see how this does in the Man vs. Gun spreadsheet. Ruger LCR. Let's see how much it weighs. £1 1 ounce, so 17 ounces. This is a really light handgun. Our standard that we use is the Glock 17. It is 27 ounces. So this little revolver plus this Ruger LCP plus 16 rounds of 38 Special plus P ammunition weighs the exact same as an empty Glock 17. That just makes this little gun a dream to carry. Okay, let's check the width. Widest part is the cylinder and is 1.285, which is still pretty dang skinny. I mean, with this is the lightest of the fighting handguns we've weighed so far, and it's not the widest either. So it's a great size for carrying. For a service handgun, it's a little bit too small, but this gets excellent marks with regards to concealed carry and also for pocket carry. Because of its no snag design, it's a great pocket carry gun. The receiver is steel and plastic. Steel gives you the strength. Plastic gives you the weight reduction. And part of that really nice design is there is an internal hammer, but there's no external hammer. So it slides in and out of a pocket really easy. There's nothing to snag. It won't snag on your clothing. It's a great design for concealed carry. The grips are very good, very nice. Some revolvers, there's still a steel or aluminum back strap back here, and the rubber grips are up here. But Ruger has rubber grips all the way around, especially right here. So when you do touch off a 357 Magnum in this thing, and it is not a fun experience, it's made more acceptable because of this nice soft rubber they have here on the back strap. Really good design there. It gets very high marks. Trigger pull. Ruger re-engineered how they do revolver trigger pulls on this little revolver. And most revolvers, the farther you pull it, the harder the pull weight gets. But with this LCR, it's the same trigger pull all the way through. There's no real stacking. Stacking is what they call it when it gets harder the farther you pull. Like on a Beretta 92, they're stacking. It gets harder the farther you pull. And with most revolvers, it gets harder the farther you pull. But with this LCR, it's about 8.5, 9 pounds, and it's exact same every time. So for revolver, I'd rather we want the same trigger pull every time. Even if it's a little bit heavy, it's better to be the same trigger pull every time. Now on a lot of revolvers, when you look at the chambers of the cylinder here, most of them have a really sharp edge here. They just have this flat piece of steel and they bore the chamber in there, and so you got a nice sharp 90-degree edge, and that can create a problem when you're trying to stuff around in there. If it's got a sharp edge, it can kind of catch on its way in. But Ruger wisely has chamfered the edges of the cylinder, and rounds just drop in effortlessly. So really good design there. Okay, let's talk about the ejection rod. It's really smooth. Some revolvers, this kind of binds, and if you don't get it exactly straight down, if you're pushing a little bit of an angle, you you can get it to bind, but this Ruger is really nice and smooth. There's no binding whatsoever. But here's the bad news. I have a piece of 357 brass right there, and here's a piece of 38 brass. The ejector rod is too short. Okay, it won't eject the brass. Okay. The line, so that's a 38 special. And look how much, I mean, that's almost half the cartridge. When you shoot some hot 38 special plus P's or some hot Magnum loads in this, and you try and reload, the odds are they won't all fall out. You'll have to get in here after you work the ejector. You'll have to get in here and pull them out on your own. After they cool down and the brass contracts all the way, they will come out, but not right after they're done being fired and they're still hot. So that's just an idiosyncrasy of this little handgun. Just in your practice, after you hit the ejector, come in here and fish for them to get the brass out of there before you go for your reload. Okay, the cylinder catch is right here. It's in a great location. With Rugers, you push straight down. With other makes, you got to do different things. But with Ruger, you push straight down on the button. It is only on one side. It does not mirror image. Safety on this little thing is the trigger. You don't want to shoot, keep your finger off the trigger. If you do want to shoot, put your finger on the trigger and pull it all the way through. Like a Glock or Smith & Wesson MP, there's nothing you have to deactivate. Keep the finger on the trigger till you're ready to shoot. Once you're ready to shoot, put it in there and it'll go. Rear sight is just a little bit too small. It's just a cut here in the top of the receiver. It works, but it gets mediocre points for the rear sight there. It does have a good front sight. You can change it out if you want for tritium or for different colors or whatever, just by hitting out that little drift pin and putting a new front sight in. There's no way to attach light to this little beast, and it is not optics compatible.
Shooting 38s isn't too bad in this little thing. In fact, it's pleasant. The grips on the back, the way they're cushioned, help with 38 special. But then when we go to the 357 Magnum, it's a whole different story. This is not a fun experience at all. There's just not enough weight with the gun, and it's brutal to shoot 357 Magnums through this little handgun. In fact, I'm never gonna shoot 357s through it. I'd never carry 357s in it. It's just shot to shot time would be really slow because of the muzzle rise, and the recoil is brutal. It hurts the hand. In fact, the last couple shots I even wondered if I had to shoot them, but I did because of the viewers here. Here it is in slow-mo, and I'm trying to hang on to this little beast, but it's so light. And that 357 round recoils so heavily. And now I'm thinking to myself, should I shoot the last two? But then I think, crap, I gotta, because of my viewers. So I do a nice slow trigger pull because I know my flinch is starting to kick in right about now. So I want a surprise break. And I mean, just look how this little gun jumps. Yeah, I would only get the 38 special. If you have the 357, only shoot 38 specials in it. Another problem with the Magnums, you're going to see here right away, is because the short ejector, I don't get all of them out of the, couple pumps. I get 2 to fall. The other 3 I got to fish out.
Okay, final thoughts on the Ruger LCR. It's a great little handgun for what it is. It's lightweight. It's going to be reliable. It's got a great trigger pull for a double action revolver. I'm not a revolver guy, but I know there's some revolver people out there, wheel gun lovers. And if you're going to carry a wheel gun for self-defense, for concealed carry purposes, you can't go wrong with one of these. There's Smith & Wesson 642 and others like this, but with the Ruger lineup, this is a great little handgun. Thanks for watching. Appreciate all the shares, likes, and subscribes.
Ensure that your training and your practice is preparing you for the real world, your real world, and not for the fantasy land of the shooting range.
And as always, have a great day.